Madame Marie Curie is famously known for her discovery of radium and the X-ray. In her lifetime, she accomplished many notable things and received many awards. In fact, she was the first woman to win a Nobel Prize along with her husband Pierre. Marie's early life was normal. Both of her parents were teachers, and she was the youngest of 5 children. In 1876, her sister died from typhus, and 2 years later, her mother died of tuberculosis. Both illnesses at the time were incurable. Previous to the passing of her mother and sister, Marie was a religious child. However, she began to deny faith and turned to science for a cure. She was determined to find a way to contribute to the science community.
It was difficult for Marie to get a good education due to women not having many rights back then, but because of Marie's determination to learn, she became associated with something called a flying university, which was taught in secret sessions. When she finished her schooling at the Flying University, she moved with her sister, Branislawa, to Paris in 1891, where she then earned more degrees and a higher education. While she was studying and doing her research, she met the professor of the School of Physics, Pierre Curie, in 1894, and a year later they got married. Marie and her husband started to do the research together, and with all their efforts, they discovered the existence of radium and polonium. Marie became a mother to Irene Curie in 1897, and in 1898 they successfully isolated radioactive radium salts from the mineral pitchblende in their Paris laboratory. They didn't find out until later that it was radioactive. In 1903, Marie made history along with her husband Pierre when she was the first woman to win a Nobel Prize. They received the Nobel Prize in Physics for their spontaneous radiation discovery. A year later, Marie and Pierre had their second and last child, Eve Curie. Marie continued to work hard and devote most of her time to science until April 19, 1906, the day that would change her life. She received news that she had been widowed after Pierre had died from a fractured skull due to a street accident. News reports say it was a rainy day and he was in too much of a rush to get to an appointment, and he had slipped under the horse carriage and died an instant death. However, this did not stop Marie from working. She denied a pension and worked harder than ever. Marie was all on her own. Not that that was a bad thing, since she was brilliant and could do all the work by herself, but she didn't have the support of her peers because she was a woman.
Marie began to further investigate the properties of polonium and radium. She made another breakthrough in 1910 when she successfully produced radium as a pure metal, which proved the element's existence without a doubt. Along with that, she documented the properties of the radioactive elements and their compounds. The next year, in 1911, she made history yet again when she won a Nobel Prize in chemistry for her breakthrough. This made her the first person to win 2 Nobel Prizes out of men and women. This was a good thing, although she received a lot of hatred for receiving this award because of her gender. People would say things like she received it out of pity because of her dead husband, or she had nothing to do with this discovery. Pierre obviously did all the work. No woman could ever do this. She even applied to the French Academy of Sciences. However, they turned her down because they didn't believe that a woman had what it takes to be a scientist, even after she had won 2 Nobel Prizes. Before the war, the University of Paris and Institut Pasteur decided to build the Radium Institute for Marie. The new laboratory was set up just a few streets away from where Marie and Pierre discovered radioactivity, polonium, and radium. The construction started in 1911 and was nearly done in 1914 when war broke out. So the opening to the institute was postponed and took place after the war and was fully operational and ready to use in 1919. The institute had 2 parts. One was where Marie led a team of researchers analyzing radioactivity, while the other laboratory was devoted to trying to find possible cancer treatments. The institute was where Marie did all of her future research until the day she died.
After winning her second Nobel Prize, Marie continued her studies for another 3 years. Then, in 1914, she suspended her studies when World War I broke out. Marie saw this war as an opportunity to apply her sciences to try to help out and save as many soldiers as she could. She realized that the electromagnetic radiation of X-ray could help doctors see the bullets and other foreign objects inside the soldiers. The problem was that the X-rays at the hospitals were often too far from the battlefield, so Marie assembled a team and invented the little Curies, which we now call ambulances, and the portable X-ray. In the first 2 years of war, her team had about 200 radiology units set up. Marie also set up a training program to teach more women how to use the X-ray machines so that they could help in the war too. Although this was helpful, it was also harmful. They didn't know much about the exposure of radium, so the X-ray was slowly killing people due to too much exposure. She also offered to donate her gold medals from her Nobel Prizes to the French government to aid the war, however, they turned her down.
Before the war, the University of Paris and Institut Pasteur decided to build the Radium Institute for Marie. The new laboratory was set up just a few streets away from where Marie and Pierre discovered radioactivity, polonium, and radium. The construction started in 1911 and was nearly done in 1914 when war broke out. So the opening to the institute was postponed and took place after the war and was fully operational and ready to use in 1919. The institute had two parts. One was where Marie led a team of researchers analyzing radioactivity, while the other laboratory was devoted to trying to find possible cancer treatments. This institute was where Marie did all of her future research until the day she died.
To bestow upon you, and try to get this over your head.
Du Collège américain de radiologie et de la Société américaine de radiologie pour le témoignage d'estime qu'elle m'a apporté ici et auquel je suis extrêmement sensible.
Merci beaucoup, madame.
This award was a big deal for Marie, not only because of all the investigations that she could now do with her new material, but because she was finally starting to get the support of her peers. Throughout her career, the only support she had, other than family, was Albert Einstein. He saw Marie for how brilliant she was and not for her gender, which was not common in their time. Marie's health started to deteriorate throughout the 1920s after years of being exposed to radioactive materials. She would even carry test tubes of radium in her pockets from time to time. July 4th, 1934, marked the end of an incredible and truly inspiring journey when Marie died of aplastic anemia, a rare blood disease where the body stops producing enough red blood cells. This disease is often caused by too much exposure to radium. Although Marie died, her legacy lives on to this day. Numerous amounts of research institutions have been named after her, such as the Pierre and Marie Curie University. In 1948, the Marie Curie Charity was founded, and it now provides care and support for people with terminal illnesses. Marie's discovery of radioactivity and radiation paved the path to new effective cancer treatments. Marie became the first Nobel Prize winner to also have a daughter win a Nobel Prize, when Irene won in chemistry, 1935. She was also the first woman to be laid to rest under the famous dome of the Pantheon in Paris. Marie is considered a role model to young women all over the world because of what she was able to accomplish in an environment that was not welcome to her.